Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Oh, and happy Women's Day everyone! In this video, I'm going to make an illustration using Ohuhu markers. Ohuhu invited me to participate in their Arte Power project for Women's Day. They invited women artists to talk about their experiences in the art world and their careers. But first I have great news. Ohuhu decided to give away 5 sets of alcohol markers to 5 of you guys. The giveaway is on my Instagram, so check the description to see how to participate. Ohuhu is also having an art contest and promotions right now, so go check it out. The links are in the description down below. I'm so happy some of you will win a set of markers. Thank you so much, Ohuhu. For this illustration, I'm going to use 3 sets of markers from their Honolulu line. I'm also going to use their fine liners and one of their marker pads. The fine liners come in a bunch of sizes and there's even a brush pen. The marker pad is super chunky with lots of pages. The paper is super smooth and thick. I made the swatches to show you the colors, but they are so messy. I'm so sorry about that. I kept getting confused with the codes on the cap and just made a mess. The brush tip is so lovely. Blending, it's so easy with it. You'll see later. I layered the colors on top of each other to see how intense they would get, and there is a bit of range so that you can use one color and get multiple tones. The fine liners are super marker proof. I really like them because they dry very fast and I can use the markers right away without waiting. Since I'm a bit impatient, I smudge everything because I don't wait enough, but it doesn't happen with these. I can use markers right away. Very nice. So now that I've introduced to you the materials, let's start with the illustration. The inspiration came from an antique history book I bought for just €1. When I opened it, I found out it belonged to a woman, Lucia. The book is full of tiny notes written in the neatest and most beautiful calligraphy ever. And in between its pages, I found a flower petal with a poem written on it. Mind that this book is more than 100 years old, and it wasn't very common for a woman to study back then. In Italy, the majority of the population was illiterate at that time, so I got really curious about this young woman. What kind of life she had, what were her dreams, her expectation for her life. All these questions I will never have an answer for because I couldn't find anything about this woman, unfortunately. But I have an imagination, and I was imagining her with a flower in one hand and a book in the other. I hope she had a beautiful, long life. I hope that she was able to choose her own path in this world and that she lived a beautiful, full life, full of love and friends and all the best. So I want to dedicate this illustration to her. Women's Day is here, and it's always a bittersweet day for me. My grandmother never failed to remind me that Women's Day is not a holiday. It's a day to remember we still have to fight for equal rights. It's a day to remember all the injustices that women have gone and still go through every day. A day to remember all the women that have lost their lives unfairly because of misogyny. I just wish this day didn't exist. I wish there was no need for it. But the reality is that we still have a long way to go to reach equality. Women like Lucia, the owner of the book, are the ones that changed history just by choosing to be themselves and choosing to pursue their passions despite everything, a little step at a time. You know, especially in the past, women were the victim of atrocious discriminations and were often thought to be less intelligent than men, less in everything. The truth is that they weren't allowed to do anything. Can you imagine how bad it must have felt? And how bad must it feel for women still not allowed to do anything these days? It's so sad that in 2023 we still aren't seen as equal humans. We still don't have ownership over our bodies. We still are oppressed, objectified, sexualized, beaten and brutally killed just because we're women, because of misogyny. We don't realize it, but internalized misogyny and things like toxic masculinity are things that society puts in our heads and makes us enemies. I feel like the number one priority is to get rid of that because it's so sad. We are only strong when we are together and we need to fight together. So this day, we also want to celebrate, all the women, all the people that have changed the world, that have given us our freedom, that got back what we got taken away. And we still have to fight for the ones that are not as free as we are. And the art world is the same as in every other field. It's curious, if you enter an art school, you will surely notice that at least 70% of students are women, yet the professors are mostly men. It makes you think about how women are not given the same opportunities. When I attended the Academy of Fine Arts, my major professor, my art professor, didn't allow us to draw the male model during live drawing sessions. He literally said that even if we're women, we should think like men if we want to be artists. And then proceeded to tell us that if that's not the case, if you don't think like men, all we could do as women students in art school, after finishing our studies, all we could do would be matching the curtains to the furniture in the kitchen. In his view, men only draw women, and only men can be artists, and that's bullshit. It's so enraging and frustrating that he went around saying things like that and was treated like a god by everybody. Super toxic. After dropping out of art school, I could finally be myself and see the world in my own female eyes and think like the woman I am, which makes me a better artist. That gave me freedom and really started my art journey. I feel like a lot of people get stuck after art school because it's so confusing. Every professor has a vision of you, and you kind of fragment yourself to please others and get good grades, but you lose yourself at the same time. I hope you can find the time to think with your own head, men or women. The beautiful thing is that we see things differently, and it's beautiful. We should embrace our differences and stand for each other and help each other and fight together to be equal. So if you hear some horrible remarks that's misogyny, discriminatory, and insulting, please stand up for yourself and others. And don't accept this horrible behavior. With that being said, I'm so happy to be part of this huge art community online. The support is amazing, and we are now more able than ever to get more opportunities and to showcase our work freely. We curate our own personal art gallery, and that's so beautiful. That's it for today's video. I hope you liked this little illustration. If you want to share your experiences with us in the comments, it would be so nice. Don't forget to check out the giveaway. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, together we are the strongest. Bye bye!